this is another thing that, you know, a lot of these people talking about like the bad, the negative, the cynical about social media. I've never, ladies and gentlemen, Molly lives probably 30 minutes away from me, but we've never actually met in person. But look at this. We're connecting so hardcore right now. I'm first on her list of see first. How the hell does it work? I don't know.
So
see first on the newsfeed.
On Facebook, you have the opportunity to choose a select number of people so that you make sure you see them first in your newsfeed. There's a few people that I've selected, and because Peter's doing all this stuff with Facebook Live, and I love Facebook Live, I'm like, oh, I should make Peter see first. So I told him that when we started this interview, right before we went live, and he was like, no way. And I said, no, boom, watch this. And I shared my screen and showed him.
And actually, you know what? Maybe Molly doesn't remember this. Molly was cooking something going live. I can't remember what you were cooking.
A quesadilla?
You had a client, a quesadilla. That's exactly what it was. And you had a client. I was watching your live because I was like, who in the world is this? She's like live all the time. I love this woman. So she's going live. She's going 100 miles an hour like she does. She's cooking a quesadilla. She's showing us something cool about the recipe that she just found. And then knock, knock on the door. She's got a client. And then phone call, another client. And then she sees me. She goes, hey, Peter. She has time between the knocks, between the cheese melting, between the kitchen blowing up. She actually says this. I'll never forget this, actually. Now it just came back. She said, hey, Peter, thank you for joining. I hadn't even commented at that point. I think I said, maybe I did say yummy or some shit, right? And she goes, hey, Peter, I have you as see first. I remember you saying that.
I totally remember that moment.
I totally remember you saying that. And I was like blown. I remember my heart kind of went like, whoa, that felt really good. This is another beautiful thing. I tell my students and my clients all the time, Molly, I wonder if you do too. You have to interact with the audience. You've got to if you're doing a live stream, this is not YouTube. This is not a podcast. I've actually seen, not to mention, I would never mention names, but I actually see people who've been in the live stream space for a long time, hardly ever recognize or acknowledge the audience.
Facebook Live, they're like, oh, you have to talk to Molly, which is awesome. And then once I start working with people, there's a lot of other things that I do offer, and there's a lot of other strategies and techniques and stuff that I share, but really the main thing that I speak about is Facebook Live. So
right,
that's cool.
I mean, 2 billion users can't lie, right? Hey, David, welcome. Thank you, Erica. 2 billion users.
Claudia is here, and Julianne.
Oh, fantastic.
We liked it also. Hooray.
Fantastic. Send us those hearts. Give us those hearts. Let us know you're here. We will give you a shout out. Remember, the key to this show is that we interact with our audience. This is not a podcast. Catherine, good to see you. So we're all over it. I'm monitoring the comments. Molly is on. She's obviously, there's no need to, educate her or show her how to do this. She's got this nailed.
Yeah, so if you guys have any questions that come up, like, please put them below, and we'll go back to answer them, whether it's the replay or if it's live. Like, I know I've followed Peter so much, and he's so awesome. I showed him beforehand that I actually
I didn't believe her. I didn't believe her.
I actually have him as marked as see first on my Facebook page. But you do share really
That's an honor.
And so I like to keep those people that I think are sharing value at the top of my feed.
You're awesome. Sure. And that's something I think a lot of people don't know about and this is kind of something that I try to advocate. Those of you who don't know who I am, I've been a writing communication professor for over 15 years. I have books that I've authored. I love storytelling. I love sharing. This has always been a dream of mine. But I think a lot of people think that Facebook is still like, especially maybe the boomers and even some of my generation, X generation, your generation, our generation. I don't want to get into that conversation. But I mean, it's amazing like how people still think like, I actually got in a conversation with my mom the other day. You know how that goes sometimes. And she's like, what are you doing? She's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what do you mean, what am I doing? They think this is actually just a little hobby. And yes, it's fun. Believe me, you won't be good at this if you don't love it. Molly, her enthusiasm is dripping through the screen, and which is awesome. You can her passion, her energy just literally climbs right at you and chokes you through the camera, which is just rare. I mean, that's a rare talent. It's raw.
Well, and that's one thing, like, I'll explain how I ended up doing this, but that's one thing that a lot of people will say to me, I don't think I could do this because I'm not you. I don't have the energy that you have.
Yes, I get that too. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts?
It's a skill set.
Yes.
And so much of it is, it's about really finding the things that allow you to feel most natural and that you are most excited about, and that you have like that bubbly sense of in your chest, and how you can elevate that and focus it, and then how you can communicate it strategically through the screen so that other people have the same excitement around the same things connect with you.
And also, let me see what you think about this, Molly, because I know David, I had David on the show, and he's a doctor now, Dr. David Halsmer. Thank you for joining, doctor. And, you know, he has been really doing a lot of Facebook Lives recently. I actually first met him through Snapchat, but he, you know, does these beautiful educational, thought-provoking kind of Facebook Lives. He's not as maniacal and crazy as Molly and I, right? I mean, I always tell my students, own your own energy. You don't have to be like me.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like Molly. Nobody can be like Molly, A. And B, you know, it wouldn't come off right anyway if you tried to do that. You got to own your own energy. You don't have to be this extrovert, right? You don't have to be this people person. Granted, that doesn't hurt, right, Molly? But what are your thoughts on that? Oh, we have a great question from Erica, too. And what are your thoughts, Molly, on, really quickly before we get to Erica's question, on this whole idea that extrovert, introvert need to be energetic? And what's your thoughts on that? What do you talk to clients about that?
Yeah, I think, you know, I've had people who have commented on my videos. I have one that I talk about, I don't even know if she mentions this, but I mention one of my students a lot because she purchased my course and then she sent me a message and said, hey, I almost didn't buy your course. Would you like to know why? And I said, yes, I would love to know why. That's amazing feedback, please. And she said something about the facial, like the energy, the facial expressions that I make on camera, that it's too much for her and she can't handle it. And I said, well, you know what? Thank you for telling me that. I said, many people, because I used to start with this like crazy thing that I would do in the beginning.
It's not for everybody.
You know, and then she wrote me back and said, it's not the intro. It's actually the faces you make throughout your whole video. So I put a book over your face while I'm listening to your videos.
Oh my goodness. Hey, at least she got value out of it still, you know?
That's what I said. I was like, that is the perfect point. And then she actually wrote me back and was so grateful that I responded the way that I did, because she said, you know what, that helps me to know that I can bring my own self to the camera. Yeah. And if the information is valuable, the people who are going to come to it are going to come to it. So, you know,
I want to put a book over my face right now. I think I should do that for every show. Just put a giant encyclopedia over my face. I've actually been told that I have a very soothing voice, and I tend to agree with them. Anyway. Okay, Eric. I'm totally kidding.
The voice thing, though, is another thing. Sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, I cannot handle the sound of my own voice. Yeah. And what I say to that is, hello, just because you've been speaking since you were 2 years old does not mean that you are an expert at speaking.
Yes.
So there's a vocal warm-ups. I mean, you know, we were just talking about Owen video, and he had done a video that I had done actually when I did do Snapchat, a video of doing like lip rolls, like.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was really smart. Kind of getting it's almost the same thing when you're warming up your vocals before a concert, right?
I mean, it's
exactly the same thing.
And I always say you have a vocal coloring box.
Oh, nice.
So if you came on and you were like, oh my gosh, we're here doing a video, everybody's going to be like, whoa.
What in the world's going on?
You're using different vocal tactics to get your communication across.
And also, it's just warming up, right? It's getting the physicality, because it is, I don't know about you, Molly, and Erica, I want to get to your question. And by the way, if you're watching right now, please go ahead and share this. I promise you, somebody's going to get value out of this. We're talking about monetizing your video creation, and specifically your live streams, especially Facebook Live. So Molly is the ninja. She is the expert. She's going to give us so much value today. So please share this out. We'll give you a shout out. We would really, really appreciate it. So Molly, I wanted to talk to you because the physicality. I don't know about you, Molly, but I feel very depleted. I don't want to ever use that word again because of my post, but I do. I feel very physically kind of worn out after a stream, even though most of the time I'm sitting down. But it does take that lung, that breath, that exercise. I'm sure Carolyn's in the house. Hey, Carolyn, good to see you.
Missy's here too. Oh, I just got so excited.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. Hey, Missy.
We got some camera confidence rock stars in the house.
And we got some camera confidence rock stars. This is awesome. So yeah, I mean, I love that. Let's get to Erica's question.
I would like to point out Missy is here, and she's in New Zealand, so that makes sense. We were doing this because it's so late, but it's not this late in New Zealand. You don't know.
Awesome. Good to see you. Good to see you, Missy. Thank you for joining. Good to see you, Caroline. Thank you so much for joining. So Erica, I want to get to Erica's question. She's got a great question here, Molly. Erica says, I need to extend my reach beyond Facebook. Can Molly Mahoney's Facebook Live tips and camera confidence course content also extend beyond Facebook. Pretty much all my clients come from Facebook, and I really need to reach other audiences beyond Facebook. I'm interested in doing live broadcasts and shows. It's much easier for me to make videos than to write. Ooh, that sounds very familiar to a lot of people, my clients as well, who I talk to. Molly, what do you think about that as far as reach?
Juicy, Erica. I love this question. Erica has been bringing the good questions lately. She asked a question on another stream that I did recently about negative comments, and it was like an awesome question. So
ooh, we could talk about that too.
No, I like it. Okay, so yes, and actually I was just talking to one of my students and really good friends. She's like my accountability buddy in a program that we're in together. Named
I love accountability buddies. I have a couple and need them. Hey, Laura. Welcome, Laura. Welcome, Valerie. Go ahead. Sorry, Molly.
Valerie, hooray. Okay, so she and I were talking about this and how she and I both are using our Facebook Lives and then repurposing them into blog posts. So,
oh, wow. Smart.
And the coolest thing is that there's tools that will do it automatically. So it not only not only do you share it like as just a link on your blog post, it actually embeds it into the blog post and then puts the comments. Have you used this before? I
use If This Then That,
okay.
The automation tool, which actually I've been getting a lot of leads, a lot of interest from posting that on LinkedIn. I turned them into Medium blogs, and we can talk about this really quickly if you want to. Talk about getting reach. Not only do I turn them into my LinkedIn feed, because I've got it's probably my hottest platform, and this is by no means an ego trip here, but I do have like 5,000 followers on LinkedIn, which I'm really proud of. I mean, we really engage. Yeah, we really engage with each other. It's not just like, hey, they're followers. I've worked really hard. I mean, being a writing professor, you kind of have to be in that world, right? A little bit. So I really leverage LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. So actually my Facebook Lives get a lot of reach on LinkedIn by repurposing them. If this, then that.
That's such a good ninja trick.
Right. And also,
I've actually,
go ahead.
I think with 2 of my videos, I've turned them into, I think I have 2 posts on LinkedIn because I don't do very much there, but one of them I did from a video. It was my video about where to go live on Facebook, but then I just did it manually. But are there ways to to attach it with If This Then That?
Yes. You can go from your personal page, you can go from your business page, and it does it natively. There's a way to do it natively to where it's not this, funky, just a link, there's a way to do it. And they're constantly updating their system. And I also get a notification thrown to Twitter. I get a notification thrown pretty much everywhere, right? I mean, like So I turn them into, Medium, right? The blog site Medium. Yeah, I turn all my YouTube videos. I write a little thing about it because I'm a writer at heart. Right. So I write a little bit about it. Then I post the video. I think repurposing is the most beautiful thing on the planet when it comes to social media, but it's not just repurposing for repurposing. You're actually making sure that it's target specific and it's appropriate for the platform. Do you agree with that, Molly?
Yes, so much so. And then you want to be strategic with it. So you can take those videos and you can chop them up Gary Vaynerchuk style and add text across the top of it.
Oh, beautiful.
Right. And then my assistant has been working. We have like a whole plan that's coming out with that. But also you can turn them into mini courses. So this is going to be coming out soon. I've taken I used to do all these Motivation Monday videos that were very
right. I remember. Yeah.
And I put together a thing called a positivity package that's going to be all of those videos. It's on Kajabi. It's like ready as soon. I'm going to sell it for not very much, but like an entry level, thing into my program where you have just those videos because they provide value.
Oh, wow.
You can also, my friend Amy was talking about how she's very strategically planning on putting hers into writing a book on it.
Oh, that's awesome. On live streaming.
She's
turning her live streams into chapters, kind of.
Yes.
Oh, that's genius. That's genius.
Super cool.
Yeah, because correct me if I'm wrong. You're the Facebook Live ninja. Correct me if I'm wrong, Molly, but your Facebook Lives pretty much after 24 hours, 72, 48 hours, maybe they pretty much die, right? I mean, they just kind of. No, I don't want Molly to die.
No.
They don't. You're saying they don't.
No.
Well, I don't see any. I only see comments and like organic reach for only like a couple of days, and then it's pretty much done. But you're telling me no. Educate us.
What are you doing with them after that? Are you just leaving them there? Or are you?
No, that's what I mean. I mean, if you don't repurpose them, I'm saying. Yeah. Like if you just, I think a lot of people think, well, hey, the Facebook algorithm says if I go live it's going to be reaching all 2 billion users. No, not even close.
Amen, mic drop. Yes, 1,000,000%. So many people, I've seen so many people who go live. Hey, Ron. So many people who go live and then think that just because they're going live, because they hear this news that Facebook algorithms are like giving more reach to that that's all they need to do. But I know I just screamed no at you, but you're totally 100% right. I guess I didn't understand what you were saying, but yeah.
It's okay. My wife screams no at me all the time. Don't worry. I'm used to it.
You have to apply strategies after the fact. I call it, and you're really good at this, I call it the APR method. It's announce. So you do, I mean, usually, right? This is a crazy weird thing that happened tonight, but usually both of us, all sorts of ways, announce, like every Monday morning, I send an email. I post it on social media, other places, and then I send a thing through Messenger now that there's Messenger automation saying I'm going to go live and telling them what value they're going to get. Then even if no one shows up, you pretend that people are there. So that's the P.
Right.
The A, P, and then R is repurpose. And there's a million ways, which you just shared some more that I haven't done yet. So I'm super stoked about that.
And actually, I love what you just said there. I love that acronym, Molly. Actually, Erica just said, I was thinking of turning them into a podcast too. Guess what, Erica? I have a plan this summer that I'm going to be doing a sort of 4-way kind of blab-esque kind of type of show, which is all about kind of, because I've been going really all in on video creation and just a couple of interesting dudes getting together to talk about their journey. We're going to split the audio, right? We're going to go live on Facebook. We're going to have a Facebook Live weekly program. We're also going to split the audio out of that. And yes, you can turn your Facebook Lives if you have good audio. I think the key here, Molly, correct me if I'm wrong, you have to invest. I mean, I don't have good video equipment. I mean, I have some lights and I've got some, but my audio is top of the line. I paid really probably more than I should have for my audio, and hopefully it's coming out good. You guys, let me know what you think.
Great.
But Erica, if you have high quality audio, not only can you turn your Facebook Lives.
I got a microphone today. Woo-hoo.
Oh, did you really? Fantastic. Oh, awesome. Good for you. Yes, you can split the audio in your editing software and then put that in a WAV file or a separate file and then turn that into an iTunes, Stitcher, what have you.
You know what?
Yeah.
You can even have it automated because repurpose.io does it for you.
Okay, I just heard about this. Can you tell us about this, repurpose.io? I don't know anything about it.
Oh my gosh, really? Okay, so Hanny.
I just heard about it, literally. Go.
Are you in are you in my private group?
No, well, hello. I mean, I thought I was on your C first, but I don't know. I guess I'm not in the VIP.
In the VIP? Okay, so I'm going to make sure you're in there because I did an interview with Hanny and he showed his tools, which are so crazy mind-blowing.
You can add me to anything. I give you permission, except for anything creepy and weird, which probably, I don't know. I wouldn't probably mind that either. Go ahead.
Let me think about what that might be. So he has 2 tools that are so awesome. And one of them is called Repurpose. And you can take you can set it up so that every video you do on Facebook automatically uploads to YouTube.
Oh my God.
You don't have to touch anything.
You don't have to do anything. What about SEO though? You do that later probably. You do SEO and ranking?
Well, and he does some stuff. There's some things that happen within it. I'm not a YouTube specialist, I'm a Facebook Live. So.
I've been really learning a lot from my Tube Ritual Facebook group. I don't know. Yeah. I should throw you in that group too, Molly,
I would love
because they are teaching me so much about search engine optimization. And ladies and gentlemen, YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine in the world. So here's another thing, Erica, somebody else was asking about this too. You can repurpose your live streams on YouTube and get Google rank, Google search, more exposure, more audience, more growth. And what is this show all about, Molly? Dollar bills, y'all.
People will throw credit cards at your face.
I love that. I want to steal that. I love that. Throwing credit cards at your face.
Look who's here, Linda West. Linda West has done over 1,000 live streams on Facebook.
Are you serious?
She's crazy town. She's so awesome.
Oh my, Linda, like my page, and then I can add you to our NEZNATION group. By the way, we do have a NEZNATION Facebook group. We have 600 members already. So we're growing. It's all about inspiring each other, video creation, live streaming, content creation, marketing. Hey, Julie. Hey, Valerie. Hey, Laura.
I love it.
We're getting tons of.
I literally use YouTube for everything I don't know.
My mother-in-law's in here. Hey, Leanne, my mother-in-law. Leanne, what are you still doing up? You got to go to sleep. Hi, Leanne. That's my mother-in-law.
So good.
We're talking about monetizing.
Leanne. Dorothy Inez, who was just with us.
Hey, Dorothy.
Room. Dorothy Inez, one word.
Good to see you. So Molly, if you're just joining us, let me just do a little quick recap. Oh my God, Molly, it's already been, check this out. We've already been talking for almost 30 minutes and literally it feels like it's been 2 seconds. So love you too. Thank you, Mom. So check this out. If you're just joining us, which a lot of people are, we're talking to the Ninja Facebook Live expert, Molly Mahoney. I almost said, I'm so sorry. I'm terrible with names. I'll never forget a face, but I'm terrible with names. So I'm sorry, Molly Mahoney, who is teaching us about, we're talking about some really valuable stuff, how you can monetize this, how you can turn this into getting people to throw credit cards at your face. I just want to keep saying that over and over again. I love it. So, okay. So repurpose.io, what else do you got? Was there any other tools and tips and tricks and strategies that you can share with us?
I mean, since we've already been talking for this for a little while, do you want to talk about, I know you kind of started to ask me before about how I launched my course without having a course.
Yes. Talk to me about that. Yes. Okay.
I said, let's save this for the video.
Okay. Buckle your seatbelts, because this is really valuable. Tell us about how Molly's going to tell us a little bit about how she literally did her entire course for a private Facebook group and people are willing to pay. Do you want to share that, Molly?
Oh yeah, everybody knows what it is, I suppose. Yeah, right now well, let's actually go through the whole story.
Please, go ahead. Yes, please.
Okay, so I've been a performance coach for many, many years. I worked in New York, did national tours, all that kind of stuff as a musical theater performer. And I was teaching voice lessons, and I was similar to Peter, where I was working at several different places. I taught at one point at Chapman University.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So cool, huh?
Yeah.
Which is Peter teaches there now too. Mm-hmm. So I also was teaching in Huntington Beach. I was teaching it in Placentia. I was teaching in Orange. I was driving to all these different places. I was teaching knitting and crocheting and fiber arts at a place in Costa Mesa.
We call it freeway flyers. They call us freeway flyers. And if you know Southern California freeways, that's a dangerous proposition, folks.
It's crazy. And what I like to say, I'm going to write this down in the comments.
Please do. Please do.
A pile of busy balls. # busy balls.
Busy balls. Do I dare ask?
Well, so I found this image that was like a bunch of clocks that were balls, and they were like piled up, and it said busy in the middle of it. And that's basically like, I was not spending any time with my very young kids. I was not spending any time with my not very young husband. And it was just so stressful because I was running myself so thin. And I got to a point, which, Peter, this is why I reached out to you yesterday also, because I got myself to a point where I was working so hard that I literally threw up.
Wow.
And I love
I felt that way. I've felt that way before. Yeah. And actually, I think we should probably talk a little bit about this. Like, I posted something recently on my personal page, my personal profile, about how I just really wanted to be really honest and just transparent about how, I was feeling the burn. I was feeling the kind of, everything was sort of taking its toll of, I teach at all these different universities just to make ends meet, having a mortgage, a wife, 2 kids, and needing to spend time with family, which that was actually being, I was depriving them of time that I was needed. I was trying to build my YouTube channel, trying to build my Facebook Live talk show, which I love, and things were growing, right? Getting sponsorships, getting really cool things. I mean, obviously it takes a long time. And so I just kind of posted this, and Molly was so sweet enough. I think this is a great little story about really kind of Molly showing her beautiful true colors here, reaches out to me. Everybody was kind of giving me good thoughts and great advice, and I was very appreciative, but Molly really kind of got almost personal and said, hey, let me know. She was the only person actually that said, please talk to me, send me a message. I'd love to talk to you personally and talk to you about some ways in which maybe we could, talk about something that could help you. That she was really the only one that did that. And not to say I wasn't grateful for the other comments, but so you experienced that burn.
Talking about like the strategic leveraging, because especially someone like you who loves what you do and you love creating, which can also come back and bite us, right? So I have to be super careful. Even today, one of my coaches, Dana Corey, messaged me and she was like, Molly, I see that you're working on Sunday. You need to take a day off.
Right. Well, I mean, when the family's out of town, it's almost like Christmas, right?
I know.
It's like, this is a chance to get work done. It's not, Christmas, I guess the anti-Christmas. It's like, you're working even harder because it's like, oh my God, they're going to be back and I got to get stuff done, right?
And then, so now I definitely have like, things in place in my calendar where I make sure I have time reserved specifically for family. And sometimes those things come out, like some of you who are here right now may have said like, hey, Molly, let's get together and talk about this, or let's like do an interview, or let's do that. And I have to say no a lot now, which is hard because I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That time is so precious. Like I told you, like if we can't jump on right now, we're going to have to wait until June 1st.
Right. We were scheduling late. I mean, if you're coming in, thank you, Linda. Linda said something really sweet. Sometimes we're so busy doing what we love that we forget to spend time with those we love. Very true. And this was something scheduled, but then all of a sudden, you know, we had to cancel, then reschedule. And then literally Molly, which I love her tenacity, why don't we just do it right now? Because I'm not going to be able to reschedule until June, you know, until June, literally, because she's so busy. And I just said, F it, let's do it. That's what I love about her. And I think this is such a valuable show. So you're working at all these different places.
Yeah. And then I was like, there's got to be a way to monetize this. So I decided, and to like get some of that passive income or whatever, right?
Yes.
So I launched a program called Prepared Performer Profits. And it was for performers to find a way to use their creative talents to build a business. Because I had a really successful vocal coaching business, and I have, oh my gosh, Tuesday night, Peter, if you're in town, I have a Broadway themed open mic night if you want to come.
Tuesday night, I have a night class Tuesday night I'm teaching.
Okay. Well, anyway, so I host this Broadway themed open mic night, like some really cool things that I've done in my business to help really elevate it and like get very successful. So I put this course together. The pilot did really well. I had 15 people who paid and loved it. Then I did the full big launch and I had 0 sales.
Oh my goodness. I know that feeling. I know that feeling.
So I literally was like an actual panic attack. What am I going to do? Because I had spent all of this time away from my family, all this money, all of this. And it was in
huge investment. It
was May of last year, and Facebook Live had just come out, and I had done a 6-day thing on curing the starving artist syndrome on Facebook Live videos. And at the end of it, when it ended, I had a lot of people like, where are your videos? I want you to come back. They like expected it to be, you know, a reoccurring thing. And I was like, oh, it was just 6 days. Like, what do you mean? Where am I? And I thought, hey, maybe I could actually do something with this. So I put together, ready for it?
Ready.
A spreadsheet. Dun, dun, dun.
Who would have thunk it? Where did that come from? Where did that idea come from? Yeah.
So I had this whole like course, right, on how to build a business. So I took that and I kind of put all those business strategies within the guise of Facebook Live. So there's a lot of like crazy business strategy in my course, because if you're going to make something successful out of Facebook Live, you have to have some of that business stuff in place. Right. And then I added in my performance coaching. So there's all this stuff about warm-ups and whatever and whatever. And then I was like, I better learn how to actually do this. So I jumped in full force and figured out this strategy that works with like this different, you know, between your personal page and your business page, getting your technical stuff set up, getting that you set up, whatever that represents your brand. And I told everybody that I was going to do it, and I sold it before I actually recorded the material.
Wow. So pre-marketing, you kind of did a lot of pre-launch the launch, get the hype, get the buzz.
And I also had a founding member rate. So it was super crazy,
cheap,
ridiculous.
Right?
Oh yeah. It was $47 because I didn't have anything recorded. Like I didn't know if it was even going to work. So they were putting trust and faith in me. Mm-hmm. And then I also eliminated all of the tech stress, and I said, I'm just going to deliver it in a Facebook group. So I literally went live for 30 days in this Facebook group. And that was the
That is some serious ninja tactic right there. That's like unbelievable mastery. Yeah, I would never have thought of that.
It's so cool because as I got to each day and everybody was engaging and answering, the social proof is building, the community is building, and then I was able to adjust things based on their needs.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, this is brilliant, by the way. So just so our Nez Nation audience can be sort of up to speed on this. So building the trust, building the community, building the buzz, getting the information out there, going live, promoting before the course even launches, and doing it at a really more than reasonable price. I mean, I know some courses that are going like thousands of dollars, you know, some master classes. So, and this is something I wanted to ask you about. And then launching, and then actually providing something valuable, and then I'm assuming you've accrued a list, right? I mean, these are probably going to be people.
So that's like become part of the strategy too. Is some people we're doing some stuff.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom said. I love that both of your babies are your priority. Thank you so much. Love you too. What did Linda say? Did a 31-day Facebook Live video challenge and wasn't smart enough to monetize it. Linda, let me tell you something. There's nobody probably dumber on this entire live stream than me. Trust me. I've been doing this for a long ass time, and I have not even come close to the mastery of, well, I mean, not a long time, but, you know, relatively. I mean, live streaming on these type of platforms has only been around for about 18 months. But I mean, look at what, this is why I had Molly on the show. Isn't she fantastic? Isn't this awesome? This value.
Linda has stuff working behind the scenes.
Linda, we need to talk. I need to get in on this.
Yes.
Let me ask you about, so an entire course.
So I did it for those.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then from there, people were getting great results and like having these major moments of clarity. And I was like, this is the stuff I've been trying to teach, but it's all in these pre-recorded videos that nobody cares about. So doing it here, I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was seeing the results that people were getting. I ended up booking private clients out of that group. And then I started adding even more value. So the price went up to $97, then $197,
wow.
$497. Now it's $997.
$997, $1,000 a pop a head.
And
that is fantastic.
Access. So they're getting like
lifetime access,
crazy value.
Right.
I do Q&As. I'm like, and they're getting feedback all the time. I have added Facebook ads. I've added there's a whole course on how to launch a course.
There's a whole course on how to launch a course. Yeah. I see those on Udemy. Yeah.
Tutorials that I do, they have everything. So it's like, it's actually worth, I think, like $12,000 when you actually break it up.
Right.
But it's this amazing, supportive, awesome community. So
that's phenomenal. And you have lifetime fans, right? I mean, if you provide that value, if you actually educate them and they can implement the strategies, which it sounds like you've got some people in here right now who are implementing. Hey, Valerie. Yay, Linda. So these people will become, it's that trust factor, right? You're building that trust factor. Let me ask you this. So after you do the pre-launch, after you get the hype and the buzz and you're working, you're hustling, you're doing everything you can to create this electric magnetic presence around who you are and what you do and what you bring to the table. Give me like, so you create this private Facebook group. Let's break down kind of the sort of step-by-step. You create this private Facebook group. Do you have like a software that they can opt in? And then as soon as, like, how does that work? Do they pay and then they get a link or that you add them to the group? Is that all automated? I played with
a bunch of different weird strategies with that at first. And what I do now, it's working really well. It's like, I think it's working really well. It's like seamless. So I use lead pages, and with lead pages,
lead pages.
So they go to an opt-in page.
I've heard of lead pages. Yeah.
And then from there, when they go to, I'm using Samcart as my payment processor because Samcart does really great payment plans. So
like credit cards. There's a lot of stuff, right? I've heard about Samcart.
Credit cards and PayPal. But
PayPal.
For me is that it does funnels, and then which I have a few other funnels in place, and then it also does the payment plans. So like,
oh, that's awesome.
6 months of $197. And so on the lead pages, they can choose either $997 to save a little bit, or they can choose $197.
Right.
And then that takes them, after they pay, the thank you page is, Linda, you're so good. We should be using my affiliate link.
Smartcart.com. There it is. Thank you. Good job, Linda. Linda, you're an excellent moderator. We're going to make Linda, you're our new moderator for the show. Love it.
She'll charge you an awesome fee for that.
For being moderator? Holy shnikes. Nobody gets off scot-free, huh? Linda, put my Facebook group in there too. It's facebook.com/NEZNATION. I'm going to test you. If you do a good job, I'll hire you.
She's doing it for me also.
I'm kidding. She's doing great.
So she's a total rock star.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And she's Linda is so amazing and such an awesome expert and has her own really cool Facebook group too. So
happy to have her. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look how good she is. Facebook.com/NEZNATION. She did it. Actually, I think it's Facebook.com/groups/NEZNATION. So Linda, you're fired. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Okay, keep going. Sorry, Molly. So you have this. So you have SmartCart. So you have the land. Samcart.
Okay, and then what happens with Samcart is Samcart takes them to a thank you page that has a link to the private Facebook group.
Okay.
And so from there, like I know you can use things like 22 Social and stuff like that that'll automatically do like
ClickFunnels is another one too. I think people use. Yeah.
So I know 22 Social though specifically works with Facebook. It's like it puts a landing page over your Facebook page that gives them the private access.
Wow.
So I think you don't have to approve them.
And by the way, if this seems overwhelming to you, NEZNATION audience and everybody watching, it's really, I mean, Molly, I think would attest to this. All the technical stuff, because that was something that was really intimidating to me. I'm not a tech dude, really. You know what I mean? I just, I'm the talent. Put me in front of the camera, just like Molly, she's the talent. She's the creative. but once you just sit down and kind of, or would you advise, Molly? I mean, I think you can do it yourself, DIY, or do you think if it's something that's so intimidating, do you tell your clients, hey, get somebody to help you out, it's not the end of the world? Or what do you say usually?
I mean, there are loads of VAs. There's a company that I work with that has a VA staff. So I've used VAs sometimes.
VAs. A VA, if you don't know, is a virtual assistant.
Sorry, yeah.
Linda, fantastic. Good job, Linda. You're hired again. Tony, good to see you. I hope we're sharing this out. Let us know. We're monitoring the comments. Please share this out. This is extremely valuable. Molly, I love what you're doing in this private Facebook group, doing an entire course. I don't know anybody on the planet who's doing that. Let me ask you this.
Because I think Facebook doesn't actually want us to use the groups for this. So I do have everything downloaded and saved somewhere else.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't always talk about, I should be more careful about how I make sure we know. Like, it is saved somewhere else. The Facebook group is there for the community. It just happens to be very easy for everyone to get all of the content.
Of course. We're doing content creation, Facebook. We're promoting you, Facebook. Leave us alone. So let me ask you this, because I know of a couple of people who are doing, I think it's basically a webinar, right? I mean, they're doing a life coaching or a coaching set, not life coaching, forget whatever adjective you want to put in front of coaching, fitness coaching, life coaching, mindset coaching. So this is something that I'm really interested in. I want your thoughts on this, Molly. Okay. They're doing, because there's you and I feel like we could do an hour like that of information and value. So are you doing anything like that too? I mean, I know you're super booked, but I hear a lot of people are doing these webinars. They're using Be Live, they're using Zoom, going into private Facebook groups or just whatever in their own private, links, private groups, rooms, offsite. And they're charging people, like $100 a head, $50 a head. And they're doing these 1 hour. It's basically like, to me, it sounds like if somebody paid you to come speak at their event, right? So you charge it. You charge a flat fee.
That's another thing that came up recently that actually worked so crazy well. I was at lunch with a girlfriend, and she was like, she works for LuLaRoe, the clothing company. Do you know that clothing company?
No, I don't.
It's a direct sales clothing company, and she said, we can't use messenger bots, which is when you automate your Facebook Messenger.
Right.
For people who don't know what that is. She said,
yes.
I don't know if we want to explain more about what that is, but
yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah, please do, because I want everybody to be, this is so much value. This is great. And Erica says, I did that, sold the webinar as a masterclass. Erica, I want you to leave more information. That's great.
Super cool. So yeah, so there's a way that you can use chat bots, which is a way to automate your Facebook Messenger. And my favorite way to do it is you say, comment below with a specific word. And then when people comment with that word, you set it up so that your messenger sends them a message automatically and gives them what they've asked for.
Oh, wow.
Have you done
so
this?
I mean, it saves you a lot of time, right?
Oh my gosh. It's the best because, for me, the coolest thing is that's one of the ninja tricks that I teach is that you don't ever want to say, I'll share the link. You want to say, comment below if you want access to this, because it increases the organic reach of your video. And then it also keeps the conversation going between you and your audience.
Oh, I love that.
So, but now I'm able to go back to my old videos and attach it to a messenger bot. So when I've said comment below with the word masterclass, like we're talking about right now, it sends them the link to a masterclass.
To the video. Oh, that's great. That's great. Jamie, thank you. Good to see you, Jamie. Erica says, I used GoToWebinar. I did a free webinar to attract possible clients who then paid $47 for a webinar masterclass. I then used those people and had them apply for my high-end $2,997 program. Erica, that is fantastic. Erica, we're going to have you on the show as well. Maybe we need to talk. So DM me, like the page, DM me. We need to talk. You're so smart, Molly. Isn't she, Valerie? She is insane, insanely smart. I love it. So
I had lunch with my friend.
Yeah, go ahead. You're lunch with your friend about the speaking thing. Yeah.
Chat bots because in LuLaRoe, they're selling in a private group. And she said they only work on business pages and we don't use business pages. And I was like,
how could you not use business pages? Yeah.
This is my point. I said, if one more person, and I love this clothing line. I said, if one more person in LuLaRoe tells me they don't use a business page because whatever, like I am going to freak out. And she said, could you teach my team how to do it? And I was like, yes. And she said, can we schedule a masterclass, a training? And I said, yes. And she said, what would you charge? And I said, $97 a person. And she was like, okay. We put it on the calendar that day at lunch. put it on the calendar. My sister is also in LuLaRoe, so she and my sister sent the message out to their groups, and I had 30 sales within 24 hours.
Oh my God, $3,000 just like that, folks, just like that. And you did it using like doing like a webinar type thing, right? You didn't do it in person, did you?
I haven't done it yet. It's coming up.
Oh, that's
so
great.
I'm doing it in a private Facebook group, and now I've done a Facebook ad connected with messenger bots, and I'm having people opt in every day for it. And but also it is going to be like, I'm so excited about it because it's going to be so specific exactly for this type of business. And it's, it won't be everything that I offer in my whole program. It's really just going to be about how to spruce up your Facebook page.
Yeah.
But it was like a lunch date. I can solve this problem. Let's put it on the calendar, tell people about it, and fill the room.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, so this is mind-blowing. And thank you, Tony, for sharing. Thank you, Charmaine. Thank you, Kelly. Let me just...
Oh, I'm so glad you're here.
Charmaine's in the house. She says, the comment below is such an awesome tip I learned from Molly. Yeah, please share that. So this is what I tell my students. This is what Molly is personifying, 20x, 100x. I tell my students all the time, Molly, I have a wife, 2 kids, mortgage, day gig, times 5. If I was 22, 23, Jamie's in the house. Jamie's a young man. Jamie's watching right now. Ha, Nez, your mind is going to be blown even more. Yes, it is. So, and I can't wait for it to happen. I don't care. Blow my mind. Do it. So.
Confidence rockstar too. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I tell my audience, I tell my students all the time, I go, you're living in an era that is so unbelievably just pregnant with opportunities. There's so many opportunities. Everything Molly's saying right now, I mean, literally being at lunch, just going out there and grabbing it, talking about things that she's passionate about, talking about things, actually vocalizing, her complaints, her thoughts, having a real conversation, just having a real damn conversation. And look what happens. She makes $3,000 in 5 minutes. Look at that.
Okay. And then it's also though, I've had my business.
You've built it. I mean, you've built it. Right. But I mean, the point is, I get that. No. And
right.
let's not,
make sure we're clear about that.
Yeah. Let's not get it twisted. Right. This isn't like a success overnight. You got to build your authority. You got to build your trust. You got to build your credibility. Absolutely. And thank you. Thank you for checking me there. But again, if you put in the work, right, as most people would know, and most people in this industry, there isn't a business person alive that is an overnight success. They've worked their whole lives to be an overnight success. Molly is like that personified. I mean, but these opportunities didn't exist 10 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, let alone 20 when we were kids. Right. Erica says, definitely would love to join you. I went from selling a YouTube course for $99 and making about $2,000 for the year with my first online course, to having it grow to making me $5,000. And then I turned all this into a certification program, an online academy with multiple, oh my God, brilliant, Erica.
Cool.
Oh, that is so brilliant, Erica. You need to like the page, friend me, PM me, DM me. We need to talk. I love it. I want to hear more of this. Leave those.
I just also want to talk about the way that connections work. So Erica and I connected because our friend Nancy Jutton has an amazing program that she teaches about how to really fine tune your message and get your speaker sheet together and your bio. She has a book called Bye Bye Boring Bio, which is so awesome.
Oh, that sounds cool.
She's great. She started doing some live streaming stuff too. And I was a guest in her group as like a guest expert on Facebook Live. We tried to go live in the group, but I was in Palm Springs and the Wi-Fi was really bad. So we turned the Wi-Fi off. We hopped on teleseminar right away and connected there. So then Erica joined my private group and has been in one of my master classes I have going right now. And then now Erica's here.
Unbelievable. I love it. And this is another thing that, a lot of these people talking about like the bad, the negative, the cynical about social media. I've never, ladies and gentlemen, Molly lives probably 30 minutes away from me, but we've never actually met in person. But look at this. We're connecting so hardcore right now. I'm first on her list of see first. How the hell does it work? I don't know.
So
see first on the newsfeed.
On Facebook, you have the opportunity to choose a number of people so that you make sure you see them first in your newsfeed. There's a few people that I've selected, and because Peter's doing all this stuff with Facebook Live and I love Facebook Live, I'm like, oh, I should make Peter see first. So I told him that when we started this interview right before we went live, and he was like, no way. And I said, no, boom, watch this. And I shared my screen and showed him.
And actually, you know what? Maybe Molly doesn't remember this. Molly was cooking something going live. I can't remember what you were cooking.
A quesadilla?
You had a client, a quesadilla. That's exactly what it was. And you had a client. I was watching your live because I was like, who in the world is this? She's like live all the time. I love this woman. So she's going live. She's going 100 miles an hour like she does. She's cooking a quesadilla. She's showing us something cool about the recipe that she just found. And then knock on the door. She's got a client, and then phone call another client. And then she sees me. She goes, "Hey, Peter." She has time between the knocks, between the cheese melting, between the kitchen blowing up. She actually says this. I'll never forget this, actually. Now it just came back. She said, "Hey, Peter, thank you for joining." I hadn't even commented at that point. I think I said, maybe I did say yummy or some shit, right? And she goes, "Hey, Peter, I have you as C first." I remember you saying that.
I totally remember that moment.
I totally remember you saying that. And I was like blown. I remember my heart kind of went like, whoa, that felt really good. This is another beautiful thing. I tell my students and my clients all the time, Molly, I wonder if you do too. You have to interact with the audience. You've got to if you're doing a live stream, this is not YouTube. This is not a podcast. I've actually seen, not to mention, I would never mention names, but I actually see people who've been in the live stream space for a long time hardly ever recognize or acknowledge the audience. Erica, yeah, quesadilla. Jamie, cheese quesadillas, yum. I'm getting hungry. I'm on a diet. Will you guys leave me alone? So,
did you know why I know it was a quesadilla?
How did you know that?
Because I have my secret to confidence. Do you know what my secret to being more confident on camera?
Don't tell me it has something to do with a quesadilla, as they say in Texas. You got a quesadilla? I actually joked about this in my class.
I'm so glad you're here. Yes, and actually I have learned that the word quesadilla can be a little confusing if you're from Australia, because I have lots of people in my community from Australia, and I had someone write this. I'm going to write it. She said, "What is a case?"
Hey, well-mode. Hey, Erica. I'm eating popcorn right now. Of course you are. This is better than a movie, isn't it, Erica? What is it?
I was like, wait, what did she say?
What is that?
It says quesadilla. That's what she thought I was saying.
Oh my God.
But it took me like at least 24 hours to figure out what that question meant.
Oh, for crying out loud. Quesadilla. That's right. Quesadilla.
I also tried to use quesadilla as a text. Ooh, Adonia's here and she knows.
Adonia. I love this.
So I had tried to use quesadilla as a text opt-in from the stage once when I was like, text the word quesadilla. Bad idea.
Bad idea. Bad idea. Hey, well-mode. Nice to see you.
I'm so glad you're here. Okay.
Yeah.
So the quesadilla.
Talk to me.
Is awesome.
Yes.
Okay. So have you ever, when you first started going live, like, was it scary or did you just feel like you could jump on camera no matter what?
So because I think this has to do with, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, Molly, because I've been in front of my classes and I've been I mean, think about it, Molly. I teach at like 5-6 universities.
Yeah.
Every single day when I go to work, I'm giving speeches, basically. Because what am I doing? I'm standing in front of 40, 50, sometimes 200 people, lecture hall, and I'm giving basically a presentation. Most of it is me just laughing and making a fool of myself. But you know, I'm basically so and this is what I'm actually trying to implement when I tell my clients too, because I do a lot of work with people about branding and storytelling, and that definitely live video has a lot to do with that. Don't treat it as a circle, as a metal camera lens. Treat that as a human being. You're talking to a human being, right, Molly?
The same thing, and you want to make sure you treat it as one human being.
One human being. I love that even more, the singular vibe. Because
so instead of saying, "Hey, you guys, we're here," I say like, "It is so good to see you." Right.
Your comments are quicker than the video, Molly. Erica, thank you. Oh, great. Erica, we need to talk, Erica. Okay, now I'm turning into Molly. Molly is infectious. I've caught the Molly virus, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, okay, we need to get back on track. Get back on track.
Most people, and you know what? Even though I am like a performer on stage,
I love it.
All over the place. When I started doing live streaming on my business page and no one was really there and the stakes were high, I'd get this like in my chest about like super freaked out.
I still get nervous. By the way, I always get nervous, but I think the day I stop getting nervous is a bad thing. I think being nervous means you care. Do you agree with that or no?
Totally. And I heard Mary Smith say this once, which was so cool. She said, it's not about,
That's right, Erica. That's right, Erica. It is. Forget Ebola. I've caught Molly. I don't think I can go back. There's no turning point. There's no point of return. I've caught the Molly bug. Is there any anti-serum or antidote?
Okay,
Hopefully
so
I'll get the credit cards thrown at my face. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Instead of making the butterflies go away, it's
Yes.
about getting the butterflies to fly in formation.
Oh, love it. Love it. That's great.
Okay, so if you are having a hard time with like self-confidence, or there's different, the confidence thing can be really difficult. So the trick is, and this is something that I created when I was working with performers, because they would, no matter how many crazy Broadway credits they had, and I have some people who had really amazing credits, who, like one of my students, he's only 15. Before I started working with him, he had been one of the top 5 on NBC Telemundo's The Voice.
Whoa.
And he's ridiculously talented. So freaking awesome. And like the nicest kid ever. But he's still, like one time, I'm going to call him out for a sec, but he was singing the national anthem at the city of Anaheim, State of the City.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a huge audience at the Grove in Anaheim, and he was so nervous. And I was like, dude, if I had this kid's voice, like how stoked would I be? He's so crazy talented, but he was so nervous. And so the trick that I developed is that you take everything from your business, everything from your acting career, everything from like whatever it is that you offer. So you have a wealth of knowledge.
Jennifer Quinn's in the house. Hey, Jenny, good to see you, Jenny Q. Sorry, Molly, go ahead. I had to say hi to Jenny Q. She's been on the show before.
I'm liking
good to see you, Jennifer. She is a live stream master as well, and she's creating a course right now, actually.
Ooh, I like it. Oh my gosh. And I just scrolled over, and your quote on your page, settle for nothing less than joy. Jennifer, joy is like the whole purpose of my entire business. Everything. There
it is.
Spread joy. I love it. So good. Okay. So
nerves. Yeah. So you were talking about the nerves.
You offer in your business, the programs you're selling, the amazing services that you provide, you put them as far away from you as possible, and you're left with this human being. Right? And so then at that point, you have to get really clear about what makes you a uniquely awesome human. Before you think about everything that you're offering.
Right.
And then from that point, I have my students make a list of 20 things that make them an awesome human being.
Nice.
And we have a list. We call it the quesadilla of awesome, because
we're back to the quesadilla. I'm getting so hot. I'm on a diet, for crying out loud. I got to look good. I used to look good. I've gained too much weight. Stop talking about food, will you?
But it's because everyone has something that makes them uniquely awesome.
No, I know.
Even if it's just that you make an amazing quesadilla.
Quesadilla. That's fantastic. That's great. One thing I always tell my students, Molly, because I don't know if you've ever checked out my channel, but all my books, my channel is really about the guy that lives inside your brain is the only thing that stops you from anything. And I always talk about the 2 things that can never coexist: stress and gratitude. If you're stressed out, you're not grateful. If you're grateful, you're not stressed. And there's always something to be grateful for. So I love what you're saying there. And the human thing, I mean, this is like, you're singing the song in my chest. I mean, that's what I love, is the human thing. Just because this is a glass, just because this is a screen, just because there's a light and it's digital molecular, magic, doesn't mean we're human. Everybody's a human being. There's human beings behind those avatars, behind those profiles. And I think the more you reach into the humanness of you, the more you're going to reach the humanness of your audience, and bam, credit cards start flying. I can't get that phrase out of my head. I love credit cards flying at my face.
Okay, the first time I ever used that was actually at a networking event maybe 2 months ago.
What was the reaction?
Oh my, everybody, I
love it.
The networking thing I had been a part of for like almost 2 years. And so many people messaged me and they were like, how do I get people to throw credit cards at my face? Like,
that's what I want to do. Thank you, Elmo. Thank you for joining us.
Line I need to go with.
That's great. Okay, thank you, Erica. I'm going to definitely answer that. Thank you so much, Erica. I appreciate it. Thank you, Adonia. There's always something to be grateful for. You're Dan Skippy. I mean, literally, just the fact that you have legs, okay? If you have legs right now, I mean, think about it. I've got family and military, and if I call Molly and say, hey, Molly, think about this just for a really quick second. If I call Molly and say, Molly, meet me for coffee, right? Sure, right. I'll be there in 15 minutes if she has the time, which she doesn't have time. But if she had the time, she'd be like, sure, I'll be there in 15 minutes. If I call my cousin Lou, okay, who served 4 tours in Afghanistan, 2 in Iraq, doesn't have his legs, right? If I asked him to come join me for coffee, he has to think about 1 million things just to join me for coffee. He has to think about stairs, transportation, curbs, doors, entrances, exits. So there's always something to be grateful for in NEZNATION. There's always something to be grateful for. It's like what Bob Dylan said in that song. Sometimes you think you've lost everything. You find out you could always lose a little bit more. So gratefulness is just, it's to me, it's the ultimate antidepressant. is being grateful. So I love what you said there. And look at how Nez Nation, Molly talks about quelling the nerves, is getting into that state. It's a state, isn't it, Molly? Wouldn't you agree? It's like putting your physicality and your mental.
Yep, and it's summoning. So before what I would always teach people, I'm like pointing at this door because I would. Okay, I'm going to show you.
What's in the door? More wine? She had somebody. I'm gonna tattletale on you. She had somebody come. I mean, I love Molly. This is so great. So before we went live, she's like, I have somebody. I thought maybe she was selling something like a table on Craigslist or something, because my wife does that all the time. I have weirdos knocking on my doors at all hours. Oh, I'm here to pick up a stroller. I'm like, I don't know who the hell you are, but like I thought maybe. And she's like, no, actually, I'm dropping off a bottle of wine.
We had a
That's
wine
awesome.
party
I love
here,
it. I just love it.
2 months ago, and the
That's
wine
great.
got delivered to my house, and she and I have been trying to connect, and she came to pick up her singular bottle of wine right then, which is super funny.
Let me ask you this, Molly. Do you think that you should always, because we've been taught this in school, the university teaches this, when you're giving a speech, be smiley and happy and energetic. Do you think that, and you hear the other side, well, you got to be authentic. What are your thoughts? Like, thank you, Catherine. Oh, that's very sweet of you. Bless your cousin. I'm grateful for each and every one who does this for me to be safe. Please. Absolutely, Catherine. Thank you. That's so sweet of you. I definitely will. What do you think about that? Like, do you think that and that's kind of what my post was about the other day. Do you think that you should only go and do these types of things and broadcast when you're in that moment, or in that, or even if you're not feeling that way, you should always project that sort of positivity and that energy, which I love. I think you and I naturally have it, but some people don't. Or do you think like, hey, sometimes just because I talked about this with Aaron Roth. I know you know who Aaron Roth is from Archon Mounts.
Yeah.
Which is his products are awesome, which, by the way, really quick disclaimer, if you use a NEZNATION code, you get 20% off. Sorry, had to do it. Okay, I'm trying to monetize. We're talking about monetizing, folks.
So if you're going to really monetize it, what you need to do is say, hey, they've got really amazing mounts, and I can get you a discount. If you want the discount, comment below with the words, give it to me.
Okay, exactly what Molly said. Do what she just said. So
and
do you think
will come back and give it to you later.
And I'll come back and give it to you. So listen to me. So it's so good. Give it to me, damn it. Yes, right. Give it to me and I'll give it to you, for crying out loud. I'm a great giver. I'm a wonderful giver. So Aaron said, I think you need to have a strategy if you're going to go live. Other people said, and he even caveated this and said, everybody has a different answer. He thinks, Erica, I'm going to give it to you. He said, don't take that the wrong way. So he said, it's all Molly's fault. Look what she's created. This was a Disney rated broadcast.
Which I have a Disney rated channel. So
we've gone downhill. We've gone downhill. No, I'm kidding. So he said, you have to have a simple, smart social strategy. Other people have said, no, if you're feeling something that's viable and you've got an audience and they trust you, just go live. And it's actually good to be transparent and authentic. This is the longest question I've ever asked anybody, but what do you feel about that? What are your thoughts? Should you only go live with a strategy, or should you just go live when you feel like it and when it's authentic? What are your thoughts?
Yes.
Yes and yes? That's the best answer I've ever gotten for that question.
So I actually, and this is something that I teach really specifically.
Okay.
You want both. So I teach that you go live on your business page once a week, solving a very specific problem with very bullet pointed, like dunk, 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 dunk solutions. Speaking to that one singular person, you do it at the same time every week, whatever. And then so in my program, I have 20 different types of live videos that you can use strategically. Mm-hmm. So there's 2 other kinds that when you're first starting out that you do on your personal page on purpose. But then I always say, if you're going to be sloppy, you have to do that intentionally too. So
I like that. I like that.
I have one ad that's converted so well that was because one of my
clients, I've seen that ad. That's the one where it's like kind of shaky, right? The camera.
And I have glasses on? Is that
I've seen that. And it's like very kind of like, it's almost like a kind of cinema verite, or very like documentary, right? It's not like, there's nothing planned or premeditated. No, I can't remember what you were doing, but I remember the shakiness.
So my kids were having breakfast, and the day before,
right.
One of my clients had told me that it was like we had on this calendar for her to go live and she didn't do it. And she said, I really just don't want to put makeup on. And I was like, are you effing kidding me right now?
I don't want to put makeup on.
So I said,
just do it anyway. Yeah.
He was like laughing, and I said, okay, do you want more clients, like makeup or homeless? Like, this is what we have.
Ooh, I love it.
You know,
Love it.
we were being funny.
Right.
And I love her. So it was like, she
Yeah.
was laughing about it. And so I was thinking about her in my kitchen, and I was like, you know what? And so I was like, boys, I'll be right back. And I walked into this room. I didn't have my set normally. I stood up, like, so it was like super sloppy. You could see everything. And I was like standing right here, and I didn't have makeup on yet. So I put lipstick on, and I put on a pair of sunglasses. And I took my phone, and it was on my business page. And I was like, hey, I hear you talking about the fact that you don't want to put makeup on your videos. And then I started walking out my front door. So you see, and I was not actually leaving. My kids were here. I was like, but I walk out the front door, I shut the door, and I walk out, and I was like, but you know what? I got to tell you something. And in my front yard, I take the glasses off, and I'm like, I'm not wearing any makeup. Like,
there you have it.
You don't actually have to wear makeup.
Right.
Put together a plan. If you want the plan, comment below, and I'll give it to you. But I am telling you right now, there are ways to make this work.
Right.
Knock it off.
Love it. No, I love that. And yeah, I think that might be another thing that I think stops people from doing this and going live, and companies especially too, is that what I always try to tell people, and I'm sure you tell them too, is the expectation of an audience when you go live is very different from the expectation of an audience that's watching a pre-recorded, pre-edited, like a YouTube-esque or any type of video creation, you know, that's not interactive and live.
Yeah.
You're almost given like a free pass to be a complete, I don't want to say, and let me caveat this, or let me at least qualify this. I don't believe in just vomiting on the camera, right? And just being like, bleh. I like to have structure, and I like to have a little professionalism, of course. But if you're not having fun, if you're not projecting that enthusiasm that you're doing this for the reason being that you love doing this and you really care about your audience, let's forget about love, but you really care about your audience and you want to do well for them, that's going to come across, and you're almost given leeway. If there's certain mistakes, certain technical, certain camera shakiness. Actually, you said that was your highest converting ad, right?
Yeah, it was under $1.
So people, like, that's what I tell my clients, the expectation of a live audience, they would rather prefer, they almost want you to be more raw and real than because it's a different expectation than a pre-recorded video. Pre-recorded video, if it's not flashy, polished, perfect lighting, audio, then it's really a failure. But live video is the exact opposite. I think that's what I think.
Well, and there's different, and I think that's also like the expectation between a scheduled, even if it's live, like a scheduled show on your business page that you're doing it. Like I don't think that you should have the same technique when it's a scheduled weekly thing that you're doing. That should be a little bit more official, unless your thing is that you do it messy, like right?
Right. No, I totally agree. Unless that's your thing. Yeah. Some people, yeah, it's the same thing with it's like genres, right? You've got entertainment, you got vlogs, you've got, more informational, educational, how to, there's different genres. I want to ask you this. Oh my God, I can't believe we've already reached the 1 and 5 minute mark. It feels like it's been 10 minutes. Erica, yes, no vomiting on the camera. If you do, we have brown bags somewhere. I'll find one for you.
However, I would like to say,
yes,
Amy Jones, my accountability partner that I was talking about earlier, she and I have realized that maintaining a steady stream of nausea, like that freaks out feeling.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
That's like the hashtag do it scared.
Hashtag
right?
do it scared. Oh my God. We need to have Molly, we definitely need to have you on the show again when you have time in 2025. Yeah, we'll do it in 2025, June 2025. She's got an opening. Let me ask you this, Molly, before we get out of here. And by the way, I just want to thank everybody who's been watching. I want to thank Molly, do it scared, hashtag do it scared. Yes. I want to Erica, I always come to see Molly Mahoney for a few minutes and I end up here for 1 to 2 hours. Isn't that how it works when somebody's that infectious and that good? So Molly, before we get out of here, because we need to wrap up because I got to get to my wife and my kids, but let me ask you this. They better be asleep. Honey, are they asleep? I hope so. So let me ask you this. You said that you focus primarily on Facebook Live. I know a lot of people, this is the question I'm so glad I got back to this. Thank you, Erica. What are your thoughts? So should somebody, especially a beginner, and maybe we can even go through the different levels, you focus primarily on Facebook Live, 2 billion users. It's the hottest platform. It's the king of the castle, right? King of the crop.
And the other reason is that I think when you were asking about those videos, if they disappear or if they live on, the ability to take an old video and bring it back to life and have people feel like they're having a one-on-one conversation with you and send it to people very specifically, like really targeted. I don't think you can do that anywhere else.
Right. Right.
So,
No, I
I know that's
mean,
not what you were asking, but
no. I totally, I think that giving it life and rebooting it is a great thing. Thank you, Linda. I rebooted my computer, ate some ice cream, came back, and you're still here. Awesome. Cambria, that's very sweet of you. I've been quiet, though I'm loving this. Thank you both. Oh, that's awesome, Cambria. Thank you so much. No, but I wanted to ask you, Erica, I'm the same, Linda says. I'm supposed to be working right now, but I got Twitter paid by these two together. Don't you think Molly and I should do our own show? I think that'd be kind of cool.
I like it.
And we'll have, yes, absolutely. I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. That really wouldn't be a bad idea. So let me ask you this, because I think you can repurpose on Twitter. I think Twitter Live, which is Periscope, basically, you have the option. I don't know if you can do this in Periscope Producer, but I know you have the option of recording your broadcasts onto your phone if you go live on mobile, whatever your phone is or device. And I've done that before. I've repurposed them on YouTube and repurposed them, even shared them in my Facebook groups and cut them up, spliced them up, sprinkled some hot pepper on them and all that stuff, right? Yes, NEZNATION. I love it, Linda. That's not a bad name.
Can they feel like they're commenting in real time, though?
Yes, they actually have it now. Oh, you know what? Oh, you know what? Maybe I stand corrected. I thought there's got to be a way that you can include the comments. But you can't include the comments on your Facebook, can you?
Well, that's what I mean. I bring up those old videos and I have videos from months ago that I'm using as Facebook ads.
So you download them, right? And do they still have the comment? You don't download them.
Well, I mean, I do that, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, what were we talking about? I'm sorry.
I take that actual link to that actual video. Like, remember when you were saying that videos?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So like this video, for example, let's say 2 months from now, I'm like, dude, that was a good video. We need to get that in front of the right.
Damn good video. Forget right? Good video is a damn good video.
So not by sharing the link, but by turning it into a Facebook ad. Let's say I send this to just people who are majoring in business online marketing at Chapman.
Yes.
Like students at Chapman. Like I could be super specific about who I wanted this video to go in front of based on what the content is and what my strategy is. And then they feel if you're watching this in the replay, does it feel like you're having a real conversation with us right now?
Hell yeah.
Yes, let me know.
I'll answer for them. No, I'm kidding. Sorry.
That's all I mean, though.
Let us know. No, that's really, okay, I see what you're saying. That's a little bit different. So my question, that's great, by the way, great value. Thank you so much. So my question is, so basically that's the main reason I'm sure there's more reasons why you just stay on Facebook Live. Have you tried ever doing Instagram Live is fairly new, but Instagram Live is ephemeral. But now I guess they just updated not too long ago where you can actually save your broadcast on Instagram. You don't ever do like Twitter Live, Periscope? You don't ever do Instagram, YouTube Live? Yeah.
But for me, Periscope.
Yeah, I want to know your thoughts on this and why. Yeah.
So I was doing a video once and it was, how I have a jazz band. I don't know if you remember that. But
yeah, of course. Yeah. I saw you singing at Social Media Marketing World too.
Yeah,
that was awesome. That was awesome. Yeah.
And Cliff Ravenscraft did a live video of our band.
Oh, rad.
Super cool.
That's rad. That's awesome. That's great.
So I was doing a live broadcast from my music stand on Periscope. It was an awesome night. I want to give a shout out to my friend Sasan, who I actually thought of earlier, who is one of the most positive, amazing humans ever. And he's a hardcore Periscope streamer. And he is also in a wheelchair. And he is like the epitome of amazing. And his brother is one of my students. And his
shout out.
Most joyful, grateful, amazing human ever.
I'm sorry, put the name again. Say the name again. Sasan. Okay, type that in there. Yeah, Sasan. Okay. So you were doing a Periscope Live of your jazz band, and then something bad happened. Okay, yeah.
He had shared it, and he has like a huge following. So
okay.
And he does that a lot when I'm live on Periscope. He's so great, and he'll share it everywhere. But this particular night, I had a lot of people watching, and there were all these comments, and I was so excited, and I was laying in bed looking through the comments, and someone who neither Sasan and I know said, this singer looks like she ate Katy Perry.
Oh man. So the troll vibe, the troll thing is
troll vibe.
Yeah. YouTube has troll vibe 10x. There's so many trolls on YouTube, but you're right. I've had people
connected to a personal account. They can't, I've had negative comments on Facebook also, but they can't get away with it as easily as they can on other platforms.
You can ban people on Periscope, but here's the thing. I've had probably little to zero trolls on my Facebook live streams. Watch, I'm going to get all these comments now. You piece of no, but I mean, I don't want to jinx it. Let me knock on wood. Anyway, no, but you're right. I mean, the troll factor can be really sort of ugly, and it can be. I've gotten on. It was funny. I thought I had a lot of engagement on a Periscope, and I actually do like Periscope, and you can ban people, and actually you can have your audience moderate for you too.
Yeah.
But you're right. I completely agree with you. When I was first going live on Periscope, there was always, every broadcast, there was 2 or 3 people who just would try as hard as they could. That was before I knew you could just tap their name and ban them.
Have yourself a merry little
Christmas. When you're singing, when you're doing your thing, it's hard. Yeah.
But like another time I was singing with my son, like we were doing a little have yourself a merry little Christmas, and someone was like, boobs, boobs, boobs.
Right. You don't need that. Not needed. No. Not needed.
So
and that's
decided it wasn't for me.
And that's something that I've been talking to a lot of creators about and a lot of broadcasters about, is the idea of, there was a couple of celebrities who stopped, going on Twitter and they switched to, and even Instagram, they switched to Snapchat because you can't see comments, unless they actually personally DM you or what have you. And Facebook as well, like a lot of people going from Periscope or other sites, YouTube Live to Facebook Live. Yeah, I think that's an interesting point is, do you value your broadcast to the point where you want it to be, it's your space, it's your time, it's your content? And I know Joel, you know who Joel Kama is. Joel always says in his Periscopes, when I watch him, and because I love learning from him, he's been doing this a really long time, and he's fantastic.
Awesome.
But he says that this is not a free speech zone. This is my broadcast. He makes it very clear. Whereas somebody like Ryan Anderson Bell, who, I've seen him do scopes, and he gets a lot of people on his scope. He is like, he actually encourages the trolls. He's like, is that all you got? Like, give me. So
I mean, that's the thing too. And this is actually in response to what Erica had asked me before. I have had a couple of people leave like really rude, negative comments. Like people have and what's happened is the way that on Facebook, nothing as bad as Periscope, but like people commenting on the way I speak and how I need to go to a speech therapist because they think I have a lisp. Which I was like, you know what? I've had fake teeth since I was 12. I was born without them. I had dentures when I was a little kid. Like, I do have a little bit of a lisp, and that's okay.
Just ignorant people, just very ignorant. Yeah.
But also, like, people forget that there's actual humans here, and so because I responded in a certain way, my whole audience like rose up to it and like supported me.
Right.
And also, it gave them more courage to know that it's okay. Like
those
things
great.
are gonna happen, and it's all right.
That's great. Yeah. No, I think that's really interesting. I think valuing your time, valuing your show, your broadcast, where, and I think obviously, I mean, go somewhere where you feel the most comfortable. You feel you can provide the most value to the strongest audience. What do you have there? You're smiling mischievously.
Plugging in my computer because
it's about to die. Okay, well, we have gone. This has almost become. It probably has by this point the longest broadcast we've done, and we were able to reschedule Molly at the last second. And isn't it funny, Nez Nation, how life can do that sometimes? Sometimes the most powerful, the most beautiful experiences happen spur of the moment, when you're not planning it out, when it just happens and you embrace it. As Malcolm Gladwell says in Outliers, it's when serendipity meets opportunity and you grab that, because luck has a big part of it. I think luck is a big part of life. I'll be honest.
But and I think that's also a part of what you're putting out there energetically as well.
Love it. Love that. Love that. So I want to say thank you, Adonia. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Cambria. I want to say thank you to our unbelievable, I mean, value-packed, just explosive guest, Molly Mahoney. God, I'm so sorry. I want to thank our guest, Molly Mahoney, who is the camera confidence coach, the live stream ninja, Facebook live stream ninja. I got to say, Molly, this has been an unbelievable show. I can't thank you enough. Thank you, everybody, for watching. You guys rock. I'm your host, Professor Nez, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. This just made my entire evening, and I can't wait to watch this again. I'm going to be watching this, and I think you should too, guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to be watching this episode over and over again because there's just so much stuff here that you have to go over. I'm going to be taking notes.
I feel like we also left a lot of questions open-ended because we got excited in different directions.
Right. I mean,
so
but we had so much fun. You had fun, right, Molly?
So much fun. So
By the way, here's another cool thing, and I know Molly knows this. Here's another cool thing about having a Facebook Live talk show is that Molly and I know Molly's going to do this. I know for damn sure I'm going to do this. If you're watching this on the replay and you have more comments, more questions, I go through and I reply to every single comment.
Yeah.
Now, Molly is booked. She's got a lot going on right now. And I mean, of course, everybody does, but I'm sure she's going to do her damnedest to get out there too. And so this is my call to you, Nez Nation. Please, if you have any other questions, especially if you're watching this in the replay, you're watching this right now live, please leave. Thank you, Martin. I appreciate it. Thank you, Cambria. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Erica Adonia. If you have any questions and anything else that you want to add, any ninja tactics, tips, strategies, or if you want to get a hold of us and find out how to get more out of, where to find us and where to reach us, please, please, please leave comments, ask questions, like our pages. Molly's going to leave her information in the comments too. Most of you know where to find her, but a lot of my audience might not. So Molly, if you would please, after the stream, make sure you go in there in the comments and leave your information where people can find you, the Camera Confidence Coach, right? Thank you, Hanny. Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. This is Professor Nez. I'm running out of battery too. All my batteries are about to die. So I just want to say thank you again. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday evening. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And we are out.